Okay, 3D, I'm going to be showing you how to roll slabs out by hand. And this is something you will have to do first semester, and you probably will have to do it second semester. So the first thing you need to know is, where are the guide sticks in my classroom? So if you look over here in that open drawer, that is a whole bunch of wooden sticks. I call them guide sticks. What you need to do when you are rolling slabs is you need to pick sticks, 2 sticks that are even thickness. Okay, well, how do you do that? If you just hold the sticks together and put them side by side, they should be the same. Then what you need to do is put them on the wedging table on the sides of your clay. And then in these drawers, it says rolling pins. You will get a rolling pin out that you will use, okay? So I'm going to set the camera down and show you guys a few more things for rolling slabs. Okay, another thing you need to know is when you get a rolling pin out, if the rolling pin has chunks of clay on it that are really thick, you need to get one of these metal scrapers, which are on the windowsill, and you need to scrape any chunk of clay off so that it doesn't mess up when you're rolling. Okay. Step 1 when rolling your slab. With your hunk of clay, use your fist and start to hammer it down, so you're not rolling for a really long time. Don't sit here and punch really hard because that makes it uneven. Please do not do this either. These plastic boards are starting to crack because kids are missing where they're hitting, and it's just tearing these up. So don't hit the clay with a rolling pin. Just use your fist. Some girls find this really hard. They don't have the upper body strength or the arm strength to hit the clay down. Okay, so you hit it down almost to the height of the guide sticks. When you're using the guide sticks, you put them down so that there is a gap on the sides from the clay and the stick. The reason why, if you roll like this where they're touching, the clay will go over the stick and make your clay slab wonky. So put the sticks on the side. With the rolling pin, you're going to start in the middle and start rolling up, and then you'll start rolling down towards you. Eventually, you'll get to the point where you can just roll all the way across. When you are rolling all the way across, this will look smooth and even and flat. Okay, I'm going to flip it and roll on the other side. Make sure. Okay, so I'm at the point where this slab is done being rolled. What I have to do next is I have to compress the clay slab. Okay, so what is compressing a slab and why do we do it? I have a poster up here. So why do we compress clay and how do we do it? So there are 2 reasons why we compress clay. The first reason is when we scrape over the top of the clay, we need the air bubbles to raise so we can pop them on the slab so the slab won't crack or break or burst when it's being fired. The second reason to compress the clay is just like wedging. When you compress the clay, you're lining the particles and evening the moisture. And then I have directions on how to compress clay, which is how I'm going to show you how to do this right now. So with your piece of clay, first thing I did was I wedged it, which you didn't see in this video, but I did. I flattened it with my fist. I rolled from the center up and down, okay? And then I flipped it over and I rolled from the center up and down. The next step is to find one of my water bottles and lightly spritz the slab with water, just a tiny bit of water. Then you'll find one of my clean metal scrapers, and with a diagonal, you will start to scrape on top of the clay. This scraping, again, raises any air bubbles, which I can see some. It looks like a pucker in the clay. So I'm going to use the corner of this tool and pop any air bubbles I see. And then I'm going to compress again diagonally. If you do not wedge your clay and you compress it, you're going to see a whole bunch of air bubbles. I almost guarantee it. If this clay was used and not wedged, you're going to have like 100 air bubbles. Okay, next step. Flip it over. Spritz it with a little bit of water. And again, use the metal scraper and go diagonally. I have a really big air bubble right here. You can kind of see it on the video. It looks like a big dip up. I'm going to scratch that and pop it. One big pet peeve of mine is when kids are making projects, they will make the top of the slab look beautiful. They will roll it out till it's smooth. They will compress the top, and they won't do anything with the back. You have to do both of the sides. If you're making a project and it is not smooth front and back, and all I see is fabric marks, I'm going to tell you, you need to fix that because you should not have fabric marks on this, okay? The next step would be to find one of your stencils. So let's say I'm making a tile that's a specific size. I would set this down, or the other way to get this to stick is to spray my stencil with water, push it down, and then I'd get a knife tool and cut around it. So, slabs. They have to be even thickness. They should not be looking wavy or wonky. Roll from the center up, center down, flip it, roll it from the center up, center down, spray, compress at a diagonal, flip it, spray, compress at a diagonal, okay? So your slab should look nice and smooth.